100 top-ranked stocks for year-ahead price performance, plus 400 worst-ranked stocks to avoid now. And to stay ahead of the market, you'll receive 10 weeks of complete Value Line service, now only $55. Call 800-535-8831 for J.K. Lasser's new tax guide as an extra bonus. 800-535-8831. Call now.
You're gonna see the light. We're gonna see you through. You know we do things right. We're always there for you. The world keeps rearranging. One thing's never changing.
Wherever Iowans gather, more are covered by the plans of Blue Cross and Blue Shield than any other.
Don't you know it's true? You just can't beat the blues.
Why do you have cable?
Because without cable, there just is no life where I live.
It's hip.
Choice is most important.
I can just watch anything I want.
What's the question?
Why is cable worth having?
As a teacher, I really like the educational TV shows.
It's there 24 hours, so I can watch it any time of the day or night.
You can't get that anywhere.
And we don't have to leave the house.
It has saved our marriage.
We're taking television into tomorrow. This opening portion of Market Wrap is sponsored by The Travelers. You're better off under the umbrella.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Market Wrap. Welcome back from the holidays, too. I'm Bill Griffith.
And I'm Neil Cavuto. On a day when Santa Claus was apparently working overtime, the so-called Santa Claus rally that sent the Dow up 117 points Monday and Tuesday continued steamrolling ahead and sent the Dow Jones Industrials to a new all-time closing high. Let's look at the unofficial closing numbers from Wall Street. They still have to obviously fine-tune a little bit here, but it looks like this will be around the record territory that many were envisioning a little more than a couple of hours ago. 3077, the old record. It looks like we've beaten that by better than 6 points. Overall, on the day, the Dow Jones Industrials notched on nearly 33 points. The transport soared, thanks in large part to UAL, up better than 3 points on the day. The entire average up nearly 30 points to 1315.58. And the utilities, helped by a strong bond market yet again, up 3/4 of a point at 220.71. Some of the other market averages, including the advanced decline ratio, running about 3-to-1 positive. 440 issues not budging on the day. Elsewhere, taking a look at how the S&P 500 fared, up better than 5.5 points, or just about 5.5 points at 404.80. That, too, a new record. The American Stock Exchange Composite at 387 northward, 377.32, a record there. Or not a record, I'm sorry. And the NASDAQ at 559.41, up nearly 10 points on the day.
Other news, just 1 week after General Motors announced its major restructuring, 2 credit rating agencies lowered their debt ratings on the debt of the automaker and its finance subsidiary. Those moves by Fitch and Duff & Phelps mean GM's borrowing costs will probably go up because investors will likely demand higher interest rates on the company's short-term debt. Now, while these downgrades are important, it would be more significant if the nation's 2 largest credit rating agencies were to do the same. And in fact, Standard & Poor's and Moody's have already said that they are thinking about cutting their ratings on GM as well. Shares of GM today down 3/4 in this big up market today, trading at 28 5/8. Elsewhere, President Bush said today that he's not quite sure why there's such a pessimistic economic mood in the United States, but he's hoping that mood changes. Mr. Bush says the Fed's move to lower interest rates should help. He also says his State of the Union speech will contain some proposals for stimulating economic growth. But those proposals will not include removing the budget caps on discretionary spending.
One of the things that have kept the long-term interest rates from going out through the roof is the fact that discretionary spending is capped, and I have no desire to change that at all. I'm not going to do that. And I think the markets will receive what I've just told you right now with great feeling of satisfaction.
President today also appointed longtime political supporter Barbara Franklin as his new Secretary of Commerce. Franklin will replace Robert Mosbacher, who, of course, is stepping down to become chairman of the Bush re-election campaign. Ms. Franklin is a former Nixon White House official, and she was an original member of the Consumer Products Safety Commission.
Well, an improvement, but not much of one. The latest reading on first-time jobless claims shows 20,000 fewer Americans applying for unemployment benefits. But the level at 473,000 is still considered recessionary, and the 4-week moving average on claims is closer to levels back in the recession's peak last spring. And economist Albert Gross says that still spells a slow recovery, no matter how you slice it.
Decline was about in line with expectations. However, I think it doesn't change the basic backdrop that we're still experiencing a weak job market and a weak economic backdrop.
Elsewhere, declining oil and gold prices help provide support to the bond market in thin trading today. Bonds have been holding steady the past 2 sessions after a torrid rally sparked by the Fed's decisive moves to lower interest rates last week. There was very little bond market reaction to the jobless claims data, even though the drop in claims was smaller than expected. Checking where the long bond traded late this afternoon, it was up 5/30 seconds at 105 and 26/30 seconds. The yield down to 7.51%.
The financial markets continue to take the end of the Soviet Union in surprising stride. The orderly transition from the highly centralized Soviet Union to a loose commonwealth of independent states has helped maintain that stability. The dollar did see a bit of short covering support on Tuesday when word broke that Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev would resign. But dollar traders say that the primary influence for the time being will be the widening differential between U.S. and foreign interest rates. Checking the dollar in today's trading, down appreciably against the major currencies, off better than half a yen against the Japanese currency, now at better than 14-month lows, 126.